Welcome to our pregame coverage brought to you by Midstate Technical College, visiting with Assumption Royals softball manager Charlie Nelson. Coach, tell us about the season. It'd been kind of a run of conference champions, but you play in one of the toughest conferences in the entire state. So just tell us about the meat grinder of a regular season that you had.
It's really helped us here, as we got into the playoffs. It really steel sharpens steel, and our conference definitely was really tough this year, as you could tell by all the teams left playing. I mean, we have 3 of our 6 teams are in conference finals, and the only teams they've lost to are teams from our conference. Like, they were eliminated by our own conference. Over there, the regional finals over there was 4 Merriwood teams. It's been tough, and with us having a younger group this year, bringing 5 freshmen in that are playing some important innings. And I heard a really good quote the other day. I shared it the other day is, sometimes you just need a longer runway. We got off to a slow start. We just needed a longer runway.
Through a handful of playoff games thus far, you've outscored your opponents 37-5. That's an impressive number. Tell me about the playoff success so far.
Well, our pitching's been excellent. It always starts with that. The runs we've given up have kind of been our own fault at points. Got to play defense behind it. We've had a couple flubs, but the great thing is the girls have recovered and kept on making plays. And offensively, we've just been hitting the ball really hard. I've been so impressed with their improvement, especially in the bottom part of our lineup. They are definitely playing their best ball, and hopefully that continues.
Defense always starts with who is in the circle. So those that are unfamiliar with Royals softball this year, tell us who's in the circle tonight.
Well, tonight it'll be Macy Vollert. She has pitched probably about 65% of the innings this year. We're blessed to have another pitcher in Ari Kavanaugh that we are super comfortable bringing in at any time. Both have pitched and won really big games this year. Macy beat Pacelli. Ari beat Laconia on the same day, gave up 1 run in 14 innings. So we are able to rely on having 2 really quality players. And Macy's kind of taken on the role of the lead starter here in the playoffs and has done a great job.
And obviously the catcher is a big part of it too. Tell us about the catching experience behind the plate.
Well, she's special, that one. It's my daughter, Claire. She's done a good job. She works really hard back there. She's working for her pitchers. Our pitchers really appreciate it. Getting those little edge calls, how you're framing, the work you're doing, the fact that we're really hard to run on when she's behind the plate. That's been really, and she's been catching these 2 kids since they were like 7, 8 years old. So there's a lot of familiarity there.
And then I'm sure you tell your pitching staff, but tell us, how do you talk to your pitching staff about throwing strikes and knowing that they've got 7 behind them that are there to help all game long?
We discuss that a lot. Rob spends a lot of time on trying to get them to hit the pitches we want them to hit and hit it in the places we want them to hit it. And we've done a really good job hitting our spots and then defending behind it. Kids knowing their jobs, knowing teams are going to bunt on us because our pitching can be overpowering at points. And then we've done a really good job of taking that short game away. And then they're stuck trying to drive runs in, which Macy's throwing really well, and that it gets harder.
Got Hillsboro coming up here in just a few minutes. You've scored 37 runs through the playoffs. Does that have to be the recipe tonight?
I don't know. I mean, it's kind of funny is we don't know a lot about that part of the state or Hillsboro. Obviously, they've played in a good conference. I think they took second in their conference behind Cashton. They beat a conference champion, I believe, or another second place team in Ithaca. They seem to score some runs. Their pitcher I think their pitchers pitched almost every inning of every game. So they have a number one, I'd love to go get 15 runs. That would make me feel a lot more relaxed, but that's just not how it always works. Most important thing is I just want to have good at bats. I want to have competitive at bats, find the barrel. If we do those things, typically we score runs.
Let's talk about playoff experience for your girls. State champion a couple of years ago, state appearances. Is that helpful tonight, or should they not think about that tonight?
It's kind of funny. We were talking about this at practice yesterday. The 5 that we have that have played on Gilman Diamond are very aware of the situation, but they're very comfortable in it. This is their 3rd straight sectional final. They've been here. The moment won't be too big. It doesn't mean they're going to play great, but it won't be the moment that gets them. And our freshmen, not sure they have any idea what this moment is just yet. They're a little bit of a blissful youth, right? Like, they're just playing, right? They got these other 5 kids out front leading. And why wouldn't they win? That's what we do, and it's kind of been interesting.
So yeah, it's kind of fun to not know what you don't need to know, and you can
Exactly.
take some solace in that. Coach, we'll let you off with this one. You mentioned the seniors. You have a special message to them tonight, because always, each game in the playoffs could be the last, and for them, the
Yeah.
last ever. You got a message for them tonight?
I got one, and Lydia's our only senior this year. I mean, we're lucky again. We'll return almost everybody. And, she's just been such a special kid to our program. She's such a wonderful leader, wonderful person. She's been a 4-year starter in center field. She's got to hold the gold ball. She's played twice in Madison. And, every year you miss those kids, and she'll be one we'll definitely miss.
Coach, we will too. It's been a great time watching your team play over the years. Best of luck tonight against Hillsboro.
Thanks, Jason. Appreciate you, buddy.
Charlie Nelson, Assumption softball manager. And we've got first pitch coming up right after this on Zaleski Sports.
After a couple years of a job that doesn't fit, it's time for more money, more opportunity. That is where Mid-State Technical College comes in. Would cooking be a good fit? Try on a career in welding. Perhaps the outdoors suits you better. Or maybe helping people is a better fit. No matter your path, we've got cutting-edge classes with field-trained professionals and better tuition options, making Mid-State the perfect fit.